What's up, everybody? In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Woody Marks, running back for the Houston Texans. Coming out of USC, he was a little bit unheralded as a prospect. I thought I saw glimpses of James Cook in his film, but somebody that I'm going to talk about as not an exact comp, but somebody that I think is a very good running back. I believe you will think is a good running back. He resembled that running back in at least one run and some of his just general abilities. And it's pretty exciting, to be honest with you. But we're going to take a look at some of his advanced stats, take a look at some of his usage, and then break down some film and kind of talk about what we might be able to expect out of him. So when we take a look here, Woody Marks is 5'10", 207 pounds. Now, he may have bulked up a little bit, but that's just slightly under the 30.0 threshold, but not to the point where we would really need to freak out in the sense of potentially worrying about the BMI not being big enough, good enough for him to be a lead back. Historically, about 30.0 is kind of where you want to be. So if he gained a pound or two, he would hit that threshold. So not worried about that part. But as you can see, he was a 4th round pick in the middle of the 4th. That's not particularly great draft capital, and he's a little bit older, but we don't really care. He's a running back. Typically the running backs that are not first round or early second round running backs typically aren't going to be these career guys that get multiple contracts. So we typically expect maybe 3 to 4 years around a rookie contract's worth of production from these guys, if that, usually less. Taking a look at his athleticism, he's typically a slightly above average athlete. His 4.5 40-yard dash was 66th percentile among running backs in and of itself, which height and weight adjusted is 56th percentile with a 97.4 score and 51st percentile burst. So once again, not insane, just slightly above average. Now, he didn't do the agility drills. I do suspect he would have been rather good there, though, based on what I'm seeing from him on film. It's a bit of a spoiler. Now, these are season-long metrics, so some of these are influenced by the fact that, Chubb was getting those carries, right? So snap share, he's 43rd in. He's 43rd in opportunity share, weighted opportunities. Now, the Texans are 22nd in team run plays per game. I think they're going to be a little bit wishy-washy depending on the week, depending on the game script. And I do think there's a potential for them to be a little bit lower right here just because I don't think that they're going to be dominating too many games on offense to be able to really be leading significantly, assuming they aren't playing somebody that's just a scrub franchise at the time. But we'll get into whether or not we think that's going to impact him in terms of if he's a true 3-down back or not. He's 37th in carries, 38th in targets, 51st in red zone touches. Nothing too crazy. But while it's a limited sample size and that, he only has 6 receptions and 29 carries, he is 5th in fantasy points per opportunity right now at 1.05. That's pretty impressive. Once again, limited sample size. 5th in yards per touch as well. Same applies. So middle of the road here in juke rate, 22nd. That's not particularly crazy. That's not poor either, though. On film, we'll get into whether we think that number might go up or down. Once again, some of these evaded tackles and breakaway runs are volume stats, and if he hasn't had the volume, then it's not really fair. Now, true yards per carry, that takes away runs of 10 or more yards. And as you can see, his true yards per carry of 3.8 is 39, so that's not very efficient. But if you take a look at his run block rating, he's received the 36th best run blocking out of all running backs. So that's just not very good, and I think that's part of it. He only has 5 stuffed runs, but that's 5 stuffed runs on 29 total attempts. So that's not particularly great either. But, yards created per touch, he's 7th right now at 4.43. That is a true skill stat. That is your ability to create yards that were not blocked for you. So overall, I think that the lack of volume is impacting some of these stats to where they just don't look that impressive because, once again, they're volume stats. But the efficiency stuff, while it is, once again, for the millionth time, a little bit of a limited sample size, is very impressive. And I'll just hold off because I don't want to ruin who he reminds me of. So, taking a look at PFF here, they gave him just an average score in this game on the ground. I thought he was better than this. I know their grading can be a little bit subjective. I, I, I have a love-hate relationship with PFF in that sometimes I absolutely understand their methodology and I agree with it. And whether or not I agree with it doesn't necessarily make it correct or incorrect. But I definitely disagree with what I saw on film. And I'm not going to show you all the film in terms of every snap because this would be a 5-hour video. But yeah, I thought it was a little bit more impressive than that. Now, his yards after contact per attempt, 2.82, is fine. 5 first downs. They used him on a good mixture of zone and gap, 10 gap runs to 7 zone runs. His long was 18. 3 missed tackles forced on 17 attempts. Yes, that is a 17.6% missed tackles forced rate. That's a little bit below average this game, if I'm going to be honest with you. But at the same time, some of the missed tackles forced I thought were pretty impressive. Taking a look at some things from X. So taking a look at his snap rate by week, he's gone from 11% to 26% to 47% to 56%. He is taking over this backfield. And so it'll definitely be interesting to see where this number ends up. I'm not sure that they're going to want to have it too much higher than that. They may, which if you're an owner would be awesome. And if he keeps playing like this, he definitely deserves to play more. But it'll be interesting to see from not only a snap percentage though, but also a touch perspective in the sense of total volume, but then also where they're getting the touches in both, the pass game, whether or not Woody's getting goal line work, that will definitely impact his value this season. Now, taking a look at a tweet from Ryan Heath. So on this one, I really wanted to make note of the 17.9% target share. 1 game sample size, absolutely, guys, but that is awesome for a running back. Yeah, we're talking that's a Christian McCaffrey level target share. Sometimes McCaffrey sees more than that, but that is a substantial target share. Then also he was the only he had the only backfield rush attempt inside the red zone, which he punched in for an 18-yard touchdown. So once again, small sample size of only 1 game, but he did get the only one, which he also converted. So that would lead me to believe that there's the potential for more usage in the red zone because you scored from not only 18 yards away, but on your first touch. That's a 100% efficiency right there. Now on this one, he had a 50% route rate as well. That is awesome. A couple other things that were already mentioned in the previous tweets, and that he was the only running back to play in the red zone, which is actually different because he got the only attempt in the other tweet. So I stand corrected. So he was the only running back to play in the red zone and get a reception in the red zone, or get an attempt in the red zone. All in all, the usage is trending up. Some of the advanced stats are great, and some are just not that impressive, but it's a very limited sample size. We know that he put up a massive amount of points. He scored 3 total touchdowns. But what do we see from him on the actual film? Let's take a look at that. And I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon members. Thank you to Big Hunt, SP, Mage Jack, Infamy MTG, AOYOB, and The Dawn. Without your support, this would not be possible. As you're probably well aware if you've been watching my videos for a while, I cannot get monetized because of the film breakdowns I do, and even just the little videos I have where I have clips of plays in them. They get demonetized every single time, making it, therefore, impossible to collect any revenue. So, obviously, your support is greatly appreciated. And if you are so inclined to become a member, the perks would be you will get access to a private Discord where we have both a real life and fantasy football chat, as well as a voice chat if you just don't want to have to type a bunch of stuff. I'll also give you detailed roster breakdowns and roster reviews where we talk about the strengths and weaknesses of your team. Then we kind of break it down further by looking into the scoring settings themselves and the starting lineup requirements to help you build the best team to help you dominate for years to come. In both Dynasty and then in Redraft, obviously, I'd help you with a good solid game plan, especially if you know where you're drafting from. Then also give you detailed trade advice based on your specific league settings to help you dominate. Also give you access to private live streams and the ability to not only see videos at least one day early, but also the ability to suggest videos that you would like to be created. So if you would like to support the channel, I would really appreciate it. If not, just please like and subscribe. Let's get back to the video. All right, so on this first play, we're going to have Bucky right here in the backfield. We're going to be running a little bit of duo here. And so you're going to get Bucky going up the middle. You are going to get a double team right here, a double team right here, block right here, and they're going to block outwards. You're going to get the fullback who is going to take care of this guy up the middle. And on this play, I really want to highlight his decisiveness and just taking what's there. And now you'll see right here, there is no way he's going to have the lateral agility or vision to bounce this outwards. Bouncing it this way is just at this point in time not going to look very good for him. So he's going to continue forwards. Now this is just not going to be an option. And so he's just going to decide to lower his shoulder, take what's there, and just make the most of it. And so I like his willingness to just put his shoulder down because, you know, he's just not a big guy. And so sometimes when these running backs aren't very big, they don't play like it. But so far, he's playing pretty big. And on the second play, we got Bucky in shotgun with Stroud here. He's going to be running off tackle. What you're going to get from the Texans is the tackle and the center are going to pull. You're going to get everyone else trying to block downwards here. And on this play, I want to show you the bend, the change of direction ability he has while maintaining his speed and potentially even accelerating. It's a little bit tough to know if he's truly accelerating, but look at this. And also the receiver went in motion to block. So watch, he goes off tackle here. He gets the corner. Watch how smoothly he did that. Smooth. You know, dare I say, that reminds me just a little bit of Bucky IRVING. But I'm going to show you something that I think is a difference. And so follows his blockers. This angle here it's so Bucky IRVING. But, and now, if he's, just to preface this, if you see right here, there is no way he's going to be able to see whether there is or isn't anyone here through the people in front of him while really focusing in the immediate area for tacklers, right? But, man, if it was Bucky, I think Bucky would have seen this, cut left, and been gone. But I do appreciate the change of direction and then even a little bit of the spin at the end of it just to get, you know, an extra yard or two. Really impressive stuff here by Woody Marks. Man, it would be crazy, though, if we did end up getting a second Bucky IRVING here. And I would be remiss if I didn't show his touchdown run. So he's going to be in the backfield. He is going to look to run B-gap here in between the tackle and guard. What you're going to get as far as the blocking is you're going to get a motion this way as a misdirection. You can already see it's getting the linebacker here to slide to the right. You're then going to get a double team right here from your center and guard. And then you're also going to get people stretching out wide in order to create a lane. Now, more importantly, watch what he does with this. So, as you can see, there is a wide open hole right now, at least, for Woody Marks. Now, this guy is losing his battle here. He's getting underneath him. But look at the burst. Boom. Look at how quick that was. Look at how quick that was. Boom. So then he gets in the open field, jukes this guy out of his shoes. Yikes. Then manages to get his acceleration going and then just stumbles forward and leaps into the end zone. Very impressive stuff. So his short area agility obviously is good. His vision is good. He sets up his blocks well. I mean, just look at the burst through the hole. the short juke, the cut, and then the ability to just instantly get back up to speed in order to not let the trailing defenders get to him. Really impressive stuff. Yeah, he looks really good. And on this final run I'm going to show you, and I promise you, I tried to find negatives. This isn't just, for instance, there are things in his game, such as on the last play where I thought he potentially could have maximized the run by seeing that there was no one to the left of that defender in front of him and potentially cut left and taken it to the house. But that's once again after a tremendous run where he turned the corner, slid in between people, read his blocks correctly. It's really just crazy criticism, in my opinion. So on this play, I found one thing, though, that I could find, and it's pretty minimal. So here you're going to get 13 going in motion. He is going to block, and you're going to get a double team on this guy, another double team, and then you're going to get a block here. And so on this run, he is going to find no room, attempt to bounce it outwards, and he's going to get brought to the ground by this guy with one arm. And once again, I'm nitpicking here, but take a look at this. So once again, nothing is there. He could potentially try to bounce this outwards, but both of these guys are going to have the leverage. He already has the leverage, so there's just no way that's going to work. The middle is closing in, so really he's doing what he should do and try to bounce it the other way while not going backwards as to lose yardage. But you'll see right here, he gets him with one arm and just yanks him to the ground. Now, I understand completely that defensive linemen in the NFL are very, very strong. I do wish, though, that, potentially you could get out of a one-armed tackle. But once again, I'm nitpicking here. Overall, I was very impressed with what I saw from him on the ground. He was generally efficient, didn't miss too many holes, and if this continues and the run blocking isn't absolute garbage every week, I really do think there's a lot of potential with him. And so I also want to show you some reps in pass pro as well as, in the passing game itself, so that we can really get an idea just to how good he's really performing right now. Well, so he's in shotgun right here with CJ Stroud. He is right here. He is going to be in pass pro on this rep, and it is his job to chip the defensive end. What we are going to get is a very good chip. And he's really illustrating lead back potential immediately as soon as he's given the chance here. And so you'll see the tackle is working in the middle of these two because he wants to make sure that, he is successful with this chip, because it's obviously more likely that your offensive lineman wins this block necessarily than the running back. Obviously, there's a little bit of nuance depending on what's happening in the play, but he is going to win the block. So as you can see, he redirects the rusher. This guy is allowed to double team this interior rusher. It buys CJ Stroud just a second, and he's able to get the ball out to his check down right there. So once again, he is still illustrating full 3-down potential here by being good in pass pro. And I'm going to show you another rep that is even better than this one. And this is the final play I'm going to show you of pass protection, and I think this is pretty much what you need to know in this regard. So he's right here. He is going to be blocking this guy right here. And as he rears his head down this way to try to get to CJ Stroud, watch what Woody Marks does. Yeah, this is 3-down potential right here. So squares up, identifies the threat. Boom. Attack him, plant him on the ground, stay on top, and allow CJ Stroud to scramble. What a pass pro rep. That is elite stuff right there. Textbook, everything you want. I'm telling you guys, this guy has true 3-down potential. And in the receiving game, guess what? He's dangerous too. So here he's lined up to the left, right, to the left of CJ Stroud. So he's going to work his way into the flat. First of all, you're going to get a motion by this receiver, and there's going to be a PA fake, and it's meant obviously to get the defense headed this direction away from where they intend to throw the football. As far as other routes, you're going to get a corner route from this wide receiver. You're going to get Nico on a shallow cross, and then obviously you're going to have Woody in the flats here. So as far as what the Titans are doing, they appear to be in a match cover 3 because this cornerback and this cornerback are going to act in match coverage. This safety, he just looks lost. I believe he's supposed to cover the center third of the field. He kind of just wanders around aimlessly down this way, and there's nobody there. Now, the issue for the Titans is this defender needs to keep the edge, but he's going to get sucked inwards towards the action here, the play action here. And he's going to be late getting to the flat. And then, this is what happens. So as you can see, there is going to be no one there. And it's, watch the movement. It's just this little bit of, it's not even indecision. It's the decision to head towards the center of the field that is going to seal his fate, because by then he has the leverage battle lost and it is too late. Good hands. Turns up field and just easy money. So in conclusion, from what I've seen in the run game in terms of his agility, his vision, his just slippery ability, and this ability to potentially accelerate while changing directions and kind of swerve in and out of traffic with good vision, like Bucky on that sweep to the left. That was very impressive. I mean, he had a solid chip in pass pro, as well as putting that guy on his butt. We see here good hands, ability to turn the corner, head directly upfield. Obviously, he was helped out by the leverage on this play and that number 21 heading towards the center of the field and losing the leverage battle here. So that definitely benefited him. But all in all, I was thoroughly impressed with what I've seen so far. And I definitely think that he has the potential to turn into a league winner as long as he's able to maintain some semblance of efficiency in mediocre to rough matchups. The Titans' run defense is not very good, so I do want to warn people that while I loved what I saw on tape, it may not even be his fault. I just want to warn people that the running room may not be there, but the ability to be a 3-down back does appear to be there. And obviously, that's great. I think he's going to get a huge value boost. I don't see how they could turn away from him. But yeah, what do you guys think? Were you as impressed as I was? Let me know below in the comments section. If you would like to become a Patreon member, once again, feel free to. I would really appreciate your support. When I do these film breakdowns, I'm unable to collect any revenue because it gets copyrighted by both the NFL and YouTube just doesn't like that. So once again, I would really appreciate your support. If you do not wish to or cannot, if you could just like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Anyways, thanks and have a good day.